Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I still have not fully got used to streaming in the afternoon on a Saturday. This is still an adjustment period. I'm used to being a night streamer. Day streaming is a different beast altogether. Welcome to our third episode of our wonderful changing game, where we have accidentally but also purposely just smashed our two campaigns together, and I have put them on a collision course that means there's a very good chance only one of them can survive. No, it's fine. Because here's the thing, right? If they attack each other, it's not a TPK. It can't be blamed on me. They elected to do this. So it's perfectly fine. It's you can't blame the storyteller. You all just negotiated badly, or you were bad at violence. Yeah, sure, you're outnumbered, like 5-3, but it's fine. But no,
minor detail.
Minor details. It probably won't come to that. It probably will come to that. I suppose I should introduce myself. Hello, I am Hedgehog. I use he, him pronouns, and I can be found all around the internet on the handle at Hedgehog UK. I don't stream. No, I don't stream. Let's try that again. I don't use social media that much. If you do want to speak to me, you can find me in our Discord, where I have recently got into over-analyzing what my tarot app says about my life. That is my new thing in the general chat. But yeah. Later on tonight, we have Hector streaming more Wanderhome with the North Star. It was a really great episode last Saturday evening. It is literally going to be really quick content. Like, we finish at 5/5, because that's a minute we never actually finish at 5 on the dot, and then at 6 they go live less than 45 minutes later. But yes, I'm going to let our two players introduce themselves. Porna can't be with us today again, but hopefully they'll be with us next week. Ooh, who do I'm going to pick Maddie first. I'm pretty sure I picked D first last time.
Yeah.
Yes, hello. I'm Maddie. I use they, them pronouns. I am a general TTRPG ne'er-do-well. And you can find me, other than here, you can find me on my podcast, A Game of One's Own, where I play solo and duet TTRPGs, or on Realms of Peril and Glory, a fully designed and scored actual play podcast, where I am a core cast member. And our Cyborg campaign is reaching its exciting conclusion on Monday.
Ooh.
So this is a perfect time to catch up on our Cyborg campaign.
Awesome. I can't wait. D. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm multitasking. I'm typing while trying to keep the stream going. And I know if I'm not careful, I'm going to start saying what I'm typing, which is never
Relatable.
smart.
very, very relatable. But hello. Please forgive me if my voice sounds a bit weird, weirder than normal. I'm slightly sick, but mostly better now. I am D. I play tabletop games and music, and can be found for the most part on Twitter and Blue Sky, and now recently Twitch as Alphabet Sauce, where I talk about giant robots, tabletop games, Digimon, and now apparently Final Fantasy. I have been cursed with this affliction. It is terrible, and I'm having a great time. But today I'm here playing my lovely mad scientist Zelda, who's in a bit of trouble for making terrible decisions.
Yes. Would you like to tell the class what happened last session and why Zelda might be in a little bit of trouble?
So it wasn't my fault. Okay, so last time on the last Balefire, we decided to try and follow our own mystical mirror to try and do a bit of digging, find one that's close by, and yeah, maybe there's vampires that live there, but that's not a problem. It turns out it was a problem, as we immediately bumped into the worst vampire that we possibly could, and and Zelda decided, yes, let me have a chat with this person, despite the fact that I am very bad at conversation. And the end result of this chat was Zelda lost the mirror that we had, and had a bunch of her memories wiped in the process. So we now know the location of a mirror. It's just not ours, and is probably extremely dangerous to get to. So that's cool. That's real great. And that's kind of where we left off.
Yeah, you not only did you lose a mirror, you lost your memory of all the other mirrors. You lost your memory of where the Acropolis was. You lost your memory that you ever met Leto.
Oh, and Rito now knows where our base is, so that's like the worst.
I mean, don't worry. By the end of the next vampire episode, I think they'll all know.
Not reassuring.
Look, there was so D makes music, because D has talent, and I was actually going to say to D, I need a piece of music for the last episode of the show. The theme is like Elden Ring boss, to give you a kind of idea. Because we've already spoken about what that's going to be on the other stream, and it's like, yeah, I can see where this is going. Right. You arrive back mid-afternoon. Probably no, early afternoon, I think it was. Back into our wonderful freehold. Frobisher is back from the backpack into normal penguin form. Looking, I mean, I don't know how a penguin can look distressed, but this is a distressed looking penguin. I can imagine it's waddling rather frantically, without actually moving. Probably flippers slapping.
Very distressed penguin.
A very distressed penguin. Because the penguin remembers.
So, Zelda, can you explain to me? Well, obviously you can't explain to me because you've lost your. Do I know that?
I don't think you did yet.
I don't.
I think we literally cut it to them entering, and the moment where everyone's like, "Where's the mirror?"
Oh, this is great. Okay, this is perfect. All right, so Zelda starts explaining what little she knows. And she's like, okay, so you have mentioned a mirror, and from your tone of voice, it sounds like that is incredibly important. I have no knowledge or recollection of having a mirror of any kind. I am aware that there's one a powerful artifact that we can acquire. I don't remember where I got that information from. I don't remember what happened to our mirror. So, from what I can deduce from the events that have transpired, we walked into that location, encountered someone, and Zelda's just short circuits a bit, and it's like, we need to go back.
I think that is a terrible idea. There are lots of vampires there. The one that we met seemed very powerful and could easily kill us, but luckily didn't. So
Zelda paces for a bit. Why didn't you tell me to rewind time? I could have gone and checked the entire situation. It wouldn't have helped with whatever artifact you've lost, but I would know everything. They'd never see it coming. Why didn't you tell me this vital information?
I didn't know you could do that. We met like
How
the
do you
other
not know I
day.
could do that? That's rudimentary time magic. Everyone should know how to do that. Do you not have such an ability?
No.
Ugh. This is what I'm
I
working
know
with.
a bit of name magic. That's about it.
Zelda's taking this badly. March is
So I went to a place that I can't remember. I met a person that I can't remember. They took something from me that I don't remember having, and my penguin looks mad at me.
Clearly, this cannot be my fault. Clearly, of course.
Right. Frobisher, by any chance, did you record what was happening in that den so that we can give Zelda a bit of context without me losing my shit?
Frobisher uploads the photo that they took, like that hastily taken photo that you can see that it looks like the underground, but you can't see Leto. Leto's there in this kind of messy blonde blur. Like it was taken like as you were leaving. All I know is that Zelda has fucked up.
Cool.
Minor setback.
Oh, Hedge, can you remind me of the name of our handler, our sort of elvish-looking handler?
They've never actually given you their name. No, they just appeared. Like this is. You don't know whether it's deliberate. But yeah, they're not actually from memory or my notes introduced themselves.
Amazing.
Cool.
I love that for.
We're just like there's an angry woman and we have to do what she says. That's all we know.
That's all you know. There's an angry woman who occasionally bellows demands and insults from a screen, and occasionally shouts for someone called Garçon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Obviously, our handler, who I'm now realizing we don't know the name of, can probably hear everything that's going on in here. So that's also good.
I know I told her that she can trust me. I don't remember the topic of what she could trust me with, but it clearly must be this.
And wait, was there a lead that the vampire gave to you that we could follow, which I'm very, very scared of following, but might be the only thing that we have?
Well, I don't remember where this information came from, which must mean it came from the vampire. I know that there is another one of these, presumably these mirrors, a powerful artifact, and is guarded by a single individual. They were very specific. That's just one person, which probably means that one, this person is incredibly powerful and we need to approach this cautiously. And two, getting rid of them is just doing a bunch of dirty work for this vampire, which unfortunately, we don't have a choice.
Yeah, if we want to make nice after breaking into their little playpen, then we might have to do this to just kind of show willing and also get at least one mirror back.
We play along for now. We get the mirror, and if we encounter them again, clearly they're quite brilliant to have stumped me so easily. I mean, it's true that dealing with people is not exactly my number one skill, but the fact that they're charming enough that I didn't even think to try and make sure my memories were intact, I guess I'll be doing that from now on.
Yes. We need to have a growth mindset about this. Take this as a learning experience. and find actionable points that we can bring forward. And I hate myself for how corporate I'm sounding. But
as you say actionable points, you see the screens turn on.
Oh, no.
And your lovely elven-looking blonde-haired handler, who looks. I mean, you've seen her unhappy. This is angry. There is a like it's almost like someone's got a Sharpie and just drew two furrowed eyebrows because they're at almost 45-degree angles at this point. They've become so furrowed.
Amazing.
Well, I have an actionable point for you. Go and get back my fucking mirrors.
Oh, she's like really mad. Zelda
An ancient
says this-
artifact. And you just gave it away?
To be fair, memory manipulation is extremely difficult to deal with, but I will admit this was not my best showing.
It is fine. We all make mistakes, I guess. However, I recommend you go find it and then you silence the people who took the mirror.
Silence the people who took the mirror. On it.
Because if they
Zelda.
start flouting, if they start blouting about that there's changelings in London attacking or breaking into vampire homes, which was never part of the initial plan in the first place, but we'll ignore that. You know, if they start doing that, then there's going to be phone calls to people higher up, and that's going to cause even more problems.
I think we've got a lot of conflicting missions here. We've got to avoid the vampires, but we've got to find the mirrors. But the mirrors are with, an additional mirror is with the vampires as well as the one that they took back. So I don't know what our priority of kind of orders of operations are.
Okay, let me put it out simply for you. Mirrors are a priority. They don't exist forever. They'll disappear if you don't get them quick enough.
Okay. All right then. We'll locate the mirror that we have. We're certain of the location of first, and then use that as protection, I suppose, as we try and round up the rest.
Good. Frobisher, since that's what they've called you. Kick them out and don't let them back in until they have a mirror.
Mama angry.
Look at Frobisher like, you will not. You will not.
You feel glamour infuse the clock tower. And you all get affected by what is it? You all get affected by Howling Gale as it pushes you out of the door. Kind of like pushes you all outside of the freehold. And like I imagine it almost like cartoonishly pushes you out. And then a door slam close shut. And open up a moment later, and then Backpack Frobisher gets tossed out before the doors then slam shut.
That was rather rude of her.
That's uncalled for. I feel like without a safe base and resources, it will be harder to do the job she wants us to do. But hey, we can make the best of this. If we need to find a place to sleep, I know of a hostel near King's Cross that might be cheap but hopefully we won't need it.
Zelda takes out from like a pocket, like a little pocket watch, and she's talking the whole time she does this, as they're like, it might be best to act now before night falls in the first place. It's our best chance to, I guess. And as she's talking, she's fiddling with this watch, and she says, "Okay, we have a little bit of time," and she actively breaks it, like takes a screwdriver, twists it around, pulls some screws out, does something to it, nods satisfied, and sticks it back in her pocket. Keep track of
Awesome.
time for us. And
So you still have the car, the rainbow car, that you can use to get around.
okay.
This third mirror, you know of a warehouse just further down the river, dockside, about hour's drive away. You know what it looks like, you'll know when you see it, but you can't think of the exact address. Thankfully, Frobisher shows you Google Maps, and from that, you can, like, looking at a map, you'd be like, okay, that's where it is. So you know where to go, you know how to get there. The question is, do you actually want to go there?
Oh boy.
I know the legal answer is, do I have to?
Yeah, you know, like we can just live on the street, right?
So the question is, place that we know, but is full of multiple vampires, but it's daytime, or place that we don't know, only one vampire, but there could be bogles and ghoulies and all sorts of other weird nonsense that the vampire failed to mention because it's technically not vampires.
It has to be this warehouse for now, I think. Since it's the one that we know that we can. I mean, going back to our previous location where I lost the first mirror, as we are right now, is probably a death sentence. It's gonna be trapped again. I could build a lightning gun for next time. Then it won't matter. I'll just fry them. Yes.
If that's something that you can do, that sounds pretty neat.
Easy enough to do. I've done it before, but then it exploded. But it's not something I can do immediately. So for now, let's head to. We know there's at least one vampire there. Anything else, I think we're equipped to deal with it.
All right. Okay. Shall we? Why don't we do a little rundown of the stuff we can do? Because I didn't know you could rewind time until like 2 minutes ago. So just so that we can make helpful suggestions and concoct plans. So I can make binding fey deals with people. I can understand anything said or written in any language. I can give nicknames to people because that's what I did with the cat in the park to the sort of weird gang vampires. I can also go into people's dreams, but I doubt that anyone will be sleeping there, but you never know. And that's about it.
Zelda nods and in response says, as you now are aware, I can, with limited applications, I can rewind time. I can, how do I put it? I convert my entire body into pure light, and then well, tachyon specifically. Then, no, I should skip the scientific explanation. I can go backwards in time anywhere within a year, but normally I only end up within a week or so and observe anything that has occurred. I cannot change time, and I cannot interact or be noticed when I do this. Apart from that, I have the raw powers of science. I can create fans and wind and storms and shroud objects and people in lightning and electricity. This is more due to my great brilliance than any fey magic, but it sometimes has fey effects. You know this. And of course, there's my living computer virus, the Gremlins, which I can send out to affect things both chimerical and mundane. It's not good at hacking anything more powerful than a cell phone, though. It struggles with computers. A minor flaw that I will fix.
Cool. Good to know. Right. We've got tools in our toolkit. We've got umbrella swords. We've got a little robot penguin. We can do this. And you can see in seeing his expression that they don't really believe that. They're just saying it to kind of will it to be true.
Amazing. Zelda can't read expressions well enough to tell this. So, she's just there like, yeah, wow, so confident.
So confident, much wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess the next step is getting in the rainbow car and heading to the warehouse to scope it out from a distance to see if we can discern anything before actually going inside. It's a hint of panic in voice.
Yeah, you take the hour's drive over to this warehouse. It's nestled away from like the main streets. You have to go down several side streets to get there. It's kind of like a large car park, the front, and then just this one lone warehouse. There are windows kind of... excuse me. There are windows on the top, like between the, like where the roof meets the wall, and then like down a little bit, so you can't see them at ground level. But all of them have been blacked out. There is a huge, like, double-story size, 2 metal, great big doors, designed to obviously open up to let, you know, things come in and out, as well as you sort of canvas around it, a back door with a coded lock on it. Aside from that, like doing ground floor observation, there's not much more you can pick up.
Cool. It doesn't seem like there's like other people here for the most part, yeah?
There's no more cars in the car park. There's no sounds of people.
I'm looking at the back entrance with the coded lock and be like, I can hack that. Or even just see into its past if I need to.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's not an electro-coded lock. It's one of those old-fashioned, you'd have to click the numbers and twist the... I can't remember what they're called. It's non-electronic.
Nice!
I mean, I mean, you had an idea there. You could use backward glance to see if anyone's tried to open the door.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah, give me difficulty 7 backwards glance. I'm guessing you breaking that watch was you trying to perform a bunk.
Yeah.
So you could use that for a difficulty to 6.
That will do just fine. Remembering how this works, I click on glamour. It's difficulty 6 now. Wait, no, is that correct?
No, so you click on backwards. So you go to your arts.
Aha, okay, so I click on backwards glance itself.
You are affecting a prop. The door code is a prop.
Difficulty is now 6 thanks to my bunk, and I think that is it. I just need at least 1 success. Okay, perfect.
Up to 1
Anyone
month.
that has tried to use this within a month, as what it looks like is that Zelda starts muttering a bunch of calculations and takes out the broken stopwatch, mind you. For any regular observer, it doesn't look or sound like anything special happens. But you see Zelda, you hear this horrible whooshing sound and see Zelda temporarily going transparent before reappearing. Just think TARDIS noises occurring as I jump back in time a little bit and try to see what's going on here.
You start going back in time. Now, because we're only focusing on the door, the coded lock, you can only see things that happen when that coded lock is interacted with.
Yes, nothing else.
Or at least people looking at the lock. So, during the past month, numerous people have come to this door. Starting at the beginning of the month, which way would you prefer to work? Would you prefer to work now towards the end of the month, so we're going backwards in time, or would you like to start from 1 month ago and work your way to the present?
I'll start from backwards, from now going backwards, in case they've changed the password or something.
Okay. So looking at it now, the last person to look at this lock was a woman with blonde hair, messy blonde, slightly dark circles around the eyes, wearing like a blue waistcoat. You have no idea who this person is. They didn't actually put the code in, but they figured it out. You can tell they worked it out, but they didn't actually type the code in, so they don't help you. Going further back a couple days, you can see this male man, scruffy hair, wearing like a leather biker-like jacket, which you almost swear you've seen before, but you can't quite remember where you saw it. They do put the code in. And they put the code in as 1234C. Going further back to about 2 weeks ago, the only other people to interact with this lock was a sort of redhead older woman, as she was taking the lock off with a screwdriver and changing the code to 1234C before remounting it. And that is where your vision ends and you get pulled back to reality.
Nice. Perfect. Zelda turns to you, holding this slightly charged stopwatch now. Like if it was broken before, now it's like it's gone. I can't do anything with this. As I just kind of chuck it away. I'm actually not doing that. That's super bad. As I just put it in my pocket. Like, okay, well, I've got the code at least. Seems that this place is not exactly popular, but people come through here quite often, and I can describe the people I saw in their rough time frames.
Xena, as Zelda describes them, that description of the blonde-haired woman almost matches identically to the blonde-haired woman you saw earlier today.
Interesting. As in the
As in Leto.
As in Leto. Okay. Okay. Looks like our vampire friend with the memory magic was here before.
Ah, my rival. Interesting.
To be specific, she was here 2 nights ago.
Okay, that's that's interesting. So if this is in fact my rival, then he is acquainted, like not just like from the perspective of the person who we're going to presumably jump, they might even be friends is probably a strong word. I don't know if a person who wipes people's memories has friends, but they know each other. But at the very least, Leto hasn't been back, so they probably have not warned them. Unless, I don't know, they talk on the phone or something.
Okay. Okay. My brain is seizing up. I don't know what to do. This is just terrifying. But it's fine. It's not fine. But it's fine, but it's not. I don't know. What do you think we should do next?
Breathe. That's the first thing to do. It's important. So I hear. And the second thing, I casually walk up to the lock and input the code.
Yeah, you type in 1234C, twist the metal turn, the door unlocks, and you can pull it open.
Nice. I would say after you, but you seem to be having a bad time, so I'll just...
Yes, I'd appreciate someone taking the lead that isn't me. That would be great.
We're going to get through this, and we're going to stick together this time. So if anything goes south, we either explode everything or run away, whichever comes first. All right?
Cool.
Okay.
I'm much better at the theory of these things or performing scenes in a fictional context. I'm not great at actually doing the things.
You enter this warehouse. So it is, to give you an idea, it's a ground floor warehouse all the way through, with a foreman's office on the second floor, which is connected by a single gangway and some stairs leading to it. There's no cargo in here. Instead, what you see so first of all, there's hardly any light here. The only light you can see is kind of like coming from the bit of the roof. A bit of the roof has been like chipped away, corroded away. So some sunlight is coming through ever so slightly. You can see what looks like loads of electrical lights all over the place, scattered around. You can see whiteboards hanging off meat hooks that are sort of dangling from the roof. It doesn't look like there's anyone else around at the moment. Not that you can see in this sort of pseudo darkness.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I'm just gonna put on my phone flashlight.
Nice.
Vampires do the exact same thing. The first thing is darkness. Dom pulls out phone. It's like if you want
Frobisher,
to,
do you?
I mean, Frobish's backpack. If you take the backpack off, the two eyes on it can turn into lights if you want to have like a longer range flashlight.
I love that.
That would be
That's
great.
so cute.
Just like two of those big flashlights, you can get two of them.
Yes.
If you like, you can give me some checks around here. I will let you suggest what combos you want to use. I'm not going to railroad you into picking.
Solid. We're currently looking around. I feel like, at least in Zelda's case, that's probably some kind of perception investigation-y thing.
Yeah, perception investigation. I think intelligence and investigation.
Yeah, that would be better for me. So
It would also be better for me.
Yes, the two clever people in the party.
Yes, we're ostensibly clever.
All right, we're doing fine.
Got 2 and 3 successes respectively. Okay, so you're all scientists, people with like high level intelligence, logical thinkers. Xena, you turn Frobisher off for a moment because you sense something about this room. And you sort of get Zelda to like lower their light slightly so it's not like blurring around the place. At that point, you notice it. That hole where the sunlight's coming through, that must be a deliberate hole. Because if you follow where the sunlight goes, it hits a mirror. Which then hits another mirror, and then another, and another. And you watch as this sort of like beam of sunlight is being bounced around the room. The destination that it takes you to is a wall, which doesn't make any sense as to why you'd go through all the hassle of moving the sunlight to this one spot. That's when I think, Zelda, you kind of work it out. Following that final ray of sunlight across, you notice that it crosses the center of the warehouse, where there's like an old cargo lift, and sort of brushed hastily on there now is like this sort of remnants of fine ash.
Oh.
There's a mirror missing. If another mirror was placed here, it could hit exactly where that pile of ash is.
Someone got dusted.
Zelda's like, ooh, dusted. The boards all have various types of like mathematical calculations on them. So each of the boards has calculations of surviving an attack. And you see, Xena, that name Leto again written on these boards numerous times. Whoever was here was trying to predict their chances of surviving a assassination attempt. First of all, Zelda, this math is terrible. It's wrong. It is wrong on so many levels. You do notice that there's some handwriting here that doesn't match the others, where someone has tried to correct it with better correct math, which does look slightly nicer. But they put their odds of survival at around 0.4%.
This guy just knew.
The only other thing you see is that foreman's office. There's like a window that, like, 'cause obviously there's, it's an office. You want a window looking out into the warehouse. That window has been fully blacked out. Is there anything you two would like to do?
Ooh.
I think Xena's just going to say aloud, if Leto is so effective, according to these calculations, at assassination, why send us dumbasses to do her dirty work? I mean, obviously, speaking for myself, this dumbass to do her dirty work. You're very smart, Zelda. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we're smart in very specific ways. We might not be all rounders, shall we say that at least?
You make a good question of that. If I have a theory, I guess, or perhaps two, it could simply be a matter of convenience. We happened to intrude at a terrible time, and she figured using us would work out well as we are expendable. Or it could be, I don't have enough information to prove this, but it could be that for all of her danger, for the threat that she represents, I imagine they're like an inverted version of myself. They're very smart, but they're smart when it comes to dealing with and manipulating others to do things for them. I imagine if we were to get into a simple fight, it would go badly for them, even with the advantage vampires have. Perhaps she simply wishes to maintain that illusion as long as possible and toy this little victim before we go and take care of it with, well, literal magic.
Interesting. Okay. Do you think there's anything else we can learn in here, or should we have a look at that office with the blacked out windows?
Ooh, I look around at this place, the big meat hooks, the whiteboards, everything about this is just the worst vibes in the world. And I'm like,
So I will pick up one other tiny nugget of information. Could be superfluous, could be useful. All these lights that have been placed in this room, like car light, like lights from car bonnets, construction lights, lamps, like every type of light. There's cables and extension leads everywhere. You notice based on some of these boards or some of the whiteboard stuff that whoever was in here was placing them in such a way that they wouldn't create, that when they were all turned on, they wouldn't create a shadow.
ooh, someone did their homework.
Didn't quite figure it out, because they're dead. But but yeah, someone went through a lot of trouble to try and work out how to create a room that didn't create a shadow.
Now, I, Maddie, know that there are some vampires who can like travel in shadows, but I don't know if Xena knows that.
Well, Xena would have had some suspicion because Leto did pop out of literal thin air
True.
to come behind you. Zelda has absolutely no idea. They know the metaphorical knowledge of this woman, but they can't act like they speak about them as if they know them. But whenever the quiz on do they know them, they just cannot recall anything.
Yeah.
Before you head up, then, is there anything else you'd like to do? And I love this because as a storyteller, when you say that, they all sit there going, we're missing something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might want to like look at those mirrors, and that could be useful if there are any other vampires who have not been dusted in here. But I can't exactly like pick them up and go as they need to be in specific locations.
So I will tell you that there's more mirrors than needed. Up against the wall, there are a couple more mirrors. Like one, there's like an IKEA full mirror, and then there's like a bathroom circular mirror that you can hang off something. So these all aren't the same type of mirror. These are literally, I went to a department store and bought every kind of mirror I could buy.
Perfect.
The only reason they're here is because whoever was working out these light calculations thought they could bounce artificial light off the mirrors to help cover areas that were cast by shadows. Scientifically stupid idea, because the mirror itself creates a shadow.
Their math is just a bit off.
Oh, way off. This is like watching to quote Americans, this is like trying to watch a college football jock try and write out quadratic equations. It's wrong on so many levels.
All right. What I will do is take some of the mirrors, some like the extra mirrors, and kind of like reflect some of the light so that it kind of goes. I can't exactly negate shadows, but I'm not too worried about that right now.
I mean,
I do not think we're
way too dark. There's
it's not happening. But if I can just have ways to get some of the sunlight up so that once you go upstairs in the walkways, if we're like, okay, bad situation, reflect light, eat sunlight vampire, something like that. So we have an emergency.
You can tamper with the mirrors enough so that you can send the sunlight upstairs. It will hit the wall by the door. So in effect, if you run out of the room and they follow you, they'll probably walk directly into sunlight.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So you can walk on up. You can set some stuff up. So yeah, you set the mirrors up.
All right. I think that's all I need to do at least.
Yeah, I think Xena's happy to move on to the next area.
Okay. You walking up these stairs. The door is shut. To this foreman's office. You can't see in. Because, well, it's all been blacked out by like what look like these really heavy black sheets have been like put up over the windows. If you examine the door, the lock is unlocked, so it can just be opened, but the lock looks busted. Specifically, it looks mechanically busted. So someone hasn't like knocked the lock off. Someone's like broke it by. They've locked it through some. They've sort of bust the lock through some kind of method that isn't brute force.
Don't like this. Feels like we're trying to ambush someone who's already ambushed this place.
Ambush the ambushers?
Ambush the ambushers. This might be a good time for a second backwards glance.
So, what are you actively trying to glance back at? Are you just like the warehouse in general?
Let me see what I can glance at, actually. I don't think prop is going to work for me here. This might have to
it'll be
like...
seen this time. So,
yes.
So, seen will make the roll harder. The more you want to, it's like the distance that you want to work back for. I think by default, backwards glance. Let me. Oh, Let me
I
have a
also
quick
gotta
look.
check.
Yeah, backwards glance is an interesting one. So here's what you could have had at home. Chronos. Unleashing Chronos. What to worry about. To start, the student backwards in time, looks at rudimentary use of Chronos. The realm determines the focus of the first cognition, while the number determines how far back in time you look. The player can specify a time or event on which to focus. But if the event she looked for is outside the time frame allowed, no successes, well, the cantrip fails. Okay, so you need to state a thing that you're looking for, and if the event occurs within that area, also, if you're willing to accept scene, I'll let you say you want to see the scene, because I think scene 1 would let you, if the book would load on my screen. This is why physical books are so much more useful. A 503-page physical book sounds like a nightmare to flick through. Give me a second. I just need to see the words.
If I'm also looking for it, but if I'm remembering, I can, depending on how many points in scene I've got, how big of an area I can see changes.
The first domain of scene realm is a chamber, allowing the changing to affect all subjects in a small, discrete, closed area. Oh god, yeah, no. Scene 1 would be enough to see the whole warehouse.
Perfect.
So if you want to make the roll on Foundry, go to Art again, do your backwards glance, press Scene.
Perfection.
That will now make it 9 difficulty. To be fair, you can knock it down 1 anyway, because I think it's added 2 Scene on anyway. You're only using 1, so you can knock it down to 8.
Perfect.
You can obviously take some Nightmare die if you want to try and make it easier.
I could. I don't think I need to. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's whatever.
It works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Look at this.
You only rolled 1
Take
dice.
out. It only rolled 1. That's definitely not right.
That's not right.
Yeah, you're right.
You only rolled 1 dice. It's like, that's not right.
Just manually roll another d10.
So yeah, you should be rolling.
Should be rolling.
No, press prop and then have prop and scene. That's it.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what has occurred. My bad. That's my mistake. Prop and scene and roll, I guess. Amazing! It's still a failure.
Yeah, you try to look back in the past and you have no joy. I will say you can try again before you leave if you want to have another look.
Sure, no problem.
I won't just let you sit there and go, yeah, I'm not going to let you sit there and go backwards glance.
Yeah, of course.
This is a game, so you use to pull your MP. But no, you can take another look before you leave. So yeah, you got this door in front of you that is not locked, can't be locked, but is closed.
Alrighty then. As I look at this, and you see Zelda trying to take out the broken stopwatch, and it just kind of sparks and fritzes, which of course it does. Sticks it back in her coat, and it's like, well, I can't figure out what specifically happened here. I guess I could stare intently until it reveals its secrets, or we could just enter.
We're probably going to die anyway. Let's just go in.
I like your thinking, apart from the dying part. Let's try and open the door.
So when we see open the door, how are we open? Like, are we just opening it and like pushing it open? Are we opening it a little bit and then trying to peek inside like we do in Scooby Doo?
Yeah, we're Scooby doing this.
You open the door. The light from the outside creeps in ever so slightly. Tiny, like fickle traces of sunlight. You can see in this foreman's office, in the middle of this room, a bunch of like ragtag quilts that have been used to make a mattress. And on top of it, sleeping very soundly, a female woman with a bandana around her forehead. A pink, slightly blondish hair, like a pink streak. Sleeping soundly. At least they were sleeping soundly. Until the slight, tiny rays of sunlight was just enough to potentially get them to start waking up as they as you can kind of see their body ever so slightly move a little, like the shoulders moving a little bit, as if they're trying to wake up a little bit. But they are in a very deep sleep. So it's going to take them a moment or two, or three, or possibly longer to wake up. But that's a problem for a little bit, because we're going to go take a quick break. So I can't have them die in the first like half of the second half of the episode's fine. Like you can't have them die in the first half. So yes, we will be back in about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Get up, fill your drinks up, go to the toilet, stretch your legs, and we will see you then. Bye. one. Welcome back. This is a lot of fun. We don't know what's going on. I am just going to quickly check the stream because I've noticed that there's a bit of delay on the OBS. Now, this happened on Thursday, and I'm wondering if that was the cause of the audio going a bit weird. So just talk amongst yourselves while I confirm this.
Ah, yes, audio problems. The greatest enemy as usual.
This is why I couldn't find my audio expertise to pre-recorded audio, so that all the mistakes have already happened.
Okay, so we have mysterious girl that is taking a nap in the middle of a vampire den. So that's a bit of an issue.
Since this person is sleeping, I am considering walking in their dreams to try and keep them asleep.
Yo, let's cover.
We're good. We are good.
Nice.
So, yes, this person is stirring, but they are very, like, their joints are hardly moving. In fact, the fact that you can tell they're waking up is kind of half of a miracle.
Right. For a moment, you see like Zelda like moves the doors like he's instinctively planning on opening more sunlight to see if it fries this person or not. Effectively, stops and looks at Xena and is like, "When you enter people's dreams, do you find out things about them? What do you do when they're like that?"
Sorry, I was just reading a spell. That's rude of me. My brain is very scattered today. Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Zelda asked you, when you enter people's dreams, what do you like do there?
I can pass messages. I can where's the bit in the description?
It's okay because you're reading things. I'm now googling things about the things I think you're going to do in a minute.
Yeah. I can pass messages to the dreaming subject, hide from enemies or nosy interlopers, or seek insight into the dreamer's mind. I don't risk any physical harm while in the dream, but can sustain chimerical damage.
Oh, all right, cool. We can find out who this person is without, having to wake them up and interrogate them and talk to them and find out if they're going active vampire who's going to rip our throats out.
Are we getting any sense of banality from this figure?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And you see, that's the kind of questions we like to hear. Yes, you are getting a sense of banality from this.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Keep her asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Get the mirror here.
Yeah, I'm going to use Dream Walk, which is a neuromancy spell, and try and enter this sleeping figure's mind.
Okay. So you're going to dream walk. So they're an actor, we'll say.
Yep.
Just because that's slightly better for you than Faye, and I'm not going to punish you with 2 dice.
Okay. And it's automatically put me at a difficulty of 7.
Yep. Sounds about right.
1 success.
Okay.
That's better than nothing.
Okay, so let's enter her dreams anywhere in the future. So remembers dream waking up. So here is the $1 million question that I had to run to Google to ask. which is, do vampires dream?
Oh,
Interesting. Am I going to be trapped in some kind of vampire dreamless limbo forever now?
There's loads of people that say that vampires don't dream. However, apparently, very quick on a brief Google, there is a Reddit post that mentions that they do dream in V20 because there's an entire dream sequence thing that some vampires can do. Now, since I'm already smashing V20 and V5 together with such disregard that would make people like cringe if they saw it, I am going to rule that not all vampires can dream, but certain vampires can dream. And this vampire would definitely be one of the people who could dream.
Nice.
So you can step into this person's dream. You, in effect, disappear from like behind Zelda as you kind of physically disappear into this person's dreams. You can't quite build all of their dream world on one success, but you can see them sitting on like a gold regal chair. Not quite a throne, not quite a dining chair. Bit of a hybrid between the two. There's kind of like chairs at posh twits by to try and make the dining set look important. They're sitting there, looking at themselves through a handheld mirror that you immediately recognize because it looks awfully similar to the one that Zelda pulled out of the lake. The more obvious thing that I probably should have led with, but we'll ignore that, is they're not wearing their bandana over their forehead, which reveals that they actually have a third eye.
Cool.
Here, a fully black eye, just there. And they don't really notice you. They're too busy looking at themselves in the mirror.
Okay. I would like to hide behind one of the fancy chairs and start singing a lullaby to see if I can kind of make it seem like it's just sort of an ambient part of the dreamscape and keep this person asleep.
Give me manipulation plus
Yes.
performance.
Okay.
I don't think I can argue that it's drag to give you your specialty.
That's fair. What difficulty?
We'll say difficulty 6. This isn't too difficult. They are already
Cool.
asleep.
Yeah. 5 successes.
Yo!
Oh yeah, you sing with such eloquence that you're almost certain she's falling asleep within a dream to have a dream of a dream.
Inception.
So one of the Reddit comments I saw was quite hilarious. It says, do vampires dream of undead sheep? But yeah, they kind of begin to like ooze off a little bit. Zelda from the outside, you can sort of see that this woman stops moving. I mean, Xena, she seems relaxed.
Okay.
There is a aura of conflicting emotions around her. but whenever she looks at the mirror, she kind of finds peace.
Okay.
This is where Maddie is thinking very
Yeah.
carefully about
I'm
what
just
she
like,
wants to
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. Is there an equivalent of insight in this game that I can try and sort of get just a
So this is one of
sense
the
of?
interesting things that this system does not do insight particularly well.
Hmm.
So I would say potentially perception plus expression.
Yeah, that works for me.
Also, you can add the rhetoric specialization from expression
Cool.
to give yourself the extra dice.
Nice. And difficulty?
Well, you've already lulled them. We'll say 5.
Nice. Okay. 4 successes.
Not too bad.
What is it you're
I'm
trying
finally
to
using my
discern?
skill set.
Like, what is it you're trying to, like, as you're looking at her, what are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to figure out what these conflicting feelings are, what the relationship with the mirror is.
Okay.
Is it a sense of kind of vanity or narcissism, or is it something else?
It's not vanity. I'll tell you that for one success. I'll tell you it's not vanity. This is a person. So you're in her dream, and you've done such a good job with your roles that as you start to focus on her, you begin to notice that her arms, the veins in her arms, start to go black. And from her feet, sort of these black inky veins sort of like spread out across the floor. And you start to see the ghosts of about 7 other people sort of walking around the space. Give me intelligence and Grimia. It's the closest you're going to get to occult. I was going to say enigmas, but I think Grimia might be a bit close. Difficulty 6.
Cool. 4 successes.
Well,
This, yeah, I'm surprised as you are.
What you are looking at here, Xena, is the visual representation of diablerie.
Oh, okay.
This person has absorbed the souls, memories, and personalities of 7 other vampires.
Wow.
Which,
That's
yeah,
a
by
lot.
vampire standards, that is an awful lot.
And that's like XP from 7 vampires.
I think we gotta like kill this one before they wake up. I think this might be a bad person.
Yeah.
Like just peeking above the table. This was supposed to be the vampire group's BBEG, who has, I kid you not, nearly 5 in every attribute, and 5 in every combat attribute, and nearly every well, they do have every discipline. They've diablerized enough to know every discipline.
Lito sent us here.
You didn't see why she did. The problem with diablerie is that even though you overtake their soul, sometimes remnants of their personality can remain. What you are seeing is that emotional instability of 7 other people trying to imprint on the same body. Imagine like 7 people, well, 8 people if you include herself, all trying to control the same RC car with one controller. Like it's just chaos. She seems to have it under control, but every now and again, it can get the better of her. The mirror, as we learnt previously through Zelda, looks like a vampiric artifact, and you can give commands to people looking in the mirror. She is using this mirror to command herself.
Oh, that's cool.
To tell herself that everything is fine.
What?
When in reality, she has diablerized so much that her own soul can't, well, they don't have souls anymore, but her own personality construct can no longer tell what is her and what is the people she's diablerized. The problem is, as you sort of discern from watching her, it turns out that the mirrors aren't all great and powerful. Their effects can diminish through repeated use. So she has been frantically, panickingly searching for other mirrors. Any information she could find to find more. Because what's better than one mirror telling you it's fine than 2 mirrors? Or 3 mirrors, or 4 mirrors. She knew that Leto had a mirror. Her emotional state is about how she feels relaxed, knowing that she has sent Leto's own teammates to go and apprehend her and bring her back here and give her the mirror she so desires. Under the guise of helping protect vampire kind from the changelings, but in reality, just to hold on to her sanity for a little bit longer.
That's intense. That's actually quite a sad figure who can totally murder us in a second.
Yeah. Can I kind of pluck the name of this vampire from the dreamscape?
Zuri.
Zuri, okay.
Zuri the Salubri.
Cool. I'd like to imagine that I kind of reach out into the sort of foggy air of the dreamscape and pull out a scroll, and it has the name and the clan on it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to, as gently as I can, exit the dream.
Yeah, you can pop straight back out of the dream.
Yep.
She is relaxed.
Are there any pieces of wood around?
Aside from the wooden desk, which is a little bit too big, everything else that was made of wood in here has been removed.
Cool. But our umbrellas now contain
Your umbrellas
wood.
have contained wood. You could try and stake her like that. It would be a temporary solution.
Because that's torpor rather
it's
than...
torpor, and someone will just walk along and pull it back out again. I
think or
She's not going to wake
set.
up
Yeah.
immediately now, like, unless she's in immediate danger or is physically attacked in some way. You can move around this office now without disturbing her.
Okay. Cool. I think I will relay to Zelda. Okay, this is Zuri the Salubri. I think I've managed to make sure that she stays asleep for now as long as we're quiet and she's not in any danger. She has diablerized 7 other vampires and is using the mirror to kind of maintain a sense of self and control that is very fragile. And I would recommend that we eliminate this target as quickly as possible.
Zelda looks more serious than you've ever seen her. She's like, everything you just said was terrifying. Do we even have the means to kill someone like this?
Well, yeah, because our swords wouldn't work because they're chimerical. So if we wanted to decapitate her, we couldn't use those. We
Right.
could potentially go further away from this room, go outside and smash one of the mirrors and use a shard of that to try and decapitate her. Or
I mean, Zelda was onto something.
the mirrors.
We need to just completely dust her, right? And I've set up the mirror so it should be easy enough to do it. We just have to make sure that she cannot move when it happens.
All right. I think if we use one of our umbrellas to stake her, put her in torpor, but just when we're about to use the mirrors, so that there's.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Then the mirrors are the important part, and they don't work without the stab. In that case, and Zelda holds up her umbrella. Give me a second, I need to check something real quick. But she holds up her umbrella and does something to it. Like she connects a bunch of cables that extend from her jacket into the umbrella somehow, and is preparing to start casting electricity, specifically storm shroud, into it to make it really hurt. She's like, if this goes wrong in any way, then we should probably find the mirror first. So that you can run and escape with it, so that only one of us has to die here. I'd rather not die, honestly. There's no evidence I can die.
I think I'd rather, yes. Let's assume we're all going to be alive, but yeah. Let's have a quick look around the office, see if there's anything that we want to grab before we kick things off.
Yeah. Looking around, is her mirror anywhere? Or does she sleep with it under her pillow or something?
You can't find her mirror looking around the office. At this point, it does not take a Sherlock Holmes to work out it's probably on her person.
All right, we gotta kill her first.
Trying to, I mean, you could try and pickpocket her if you really wanted to. So you're gonna cast Storm Shroud on the umbrella and then stake her with the umbrella.
Yes.
So you're going to create an electric umbrella that causes shock damage per turn, inject it into her.
Listen, we gotta make sure. We gotta make sure.
My brain is just sort of going, okay, that's bashing damage converted to vampire damage. Okay. Okay. If you want to roll Storm Shroud then to electrify your umbrella. It's a prop.
Will do. It is prop, and thank goodness For a moment, I thought I actually didn't have enough glamour left, but backwards glance is not one of the ones that costs glamour. So I've still got enough of it to do this.
Yes. Yes, backwards glance costs no glamour. You can cast at will.
Feels busted, but what do I know? All right, I have to make sure this does the job, so I'm gonna add a nightmare die to this. So that drops the difficulty to what, 6?
6, yeah.
Okay, I believe. Let's go.
Okay.
4 successes.
This is so 4 rounds, which is combined 12 damage. 12 bashing damage combined.
That's pretty.
Give me strength plus melee.
Strength plus melee. I got this.
47.
Okay, checks out. Don't think I have anything to help me here. 1 success. It's all right.
That's all right. You succeed. You electrify this umbrella and then just stab the wooden front of it straight through Zuri's heart, and put her into torpor. A unique situation because she's in torpor and taking damage, but damage would cause her to wake up, but she's torpor, so she can't wake up. You've created the infinite loop. Wake up in torpor, taking damage. Wake up in torpor. Like, it just doesn't. Okay.
That's great.
Even with the 12 bashing damage over the 4 rounds, that will not kill her.
Horrifying.
Because it's bashing damage and vampires half the equivalent of bashing damage, so it's actually 6. And even if you did max them out, you'd only fill up her aggravated damage track, not her superficial damage track, not her aggravated.
That is terrifying, but not a problem. As I look at Xena and like,
now you've got
the mirrors.
Get them now.
I'm gonna die here, Xena.
All right, so are we looking at dust, or are we looking at?
We need to dust her. We need to just shine sunlight and dust her, because nothing else is gonna work here.
Yeah. Well, yes. So if Zelda showed me how the mirrors work, I will angle it so that it does the dusting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for it because you roll like well enough before with your intelligence and investigation checks. You find the quickest way to do this is put a mirror, like hang a mirror in the corner with a bit of string, and that's enough that when you open the door fully, the light will hit that mirror and then bounce straight off.
Amazing.
If you'd like to do that.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
You watch as this sunlight bounces one last time off this mirror, hits this sleeping vampire who can't wake up because they're in torpor, because they're staked. And you watch as they burn to ash over the next minute and a half. It is not a quick process to burn a vampire with this little sunlight. But you do it. Eventually, like when they die, you just watch the whole body kind of crack slightly before it slowly turns to ash, and you're left with an ash pile and a bunch of clothes that they were once wearing.
Cool.
Congratulations!
In the clothes.
You have just killed the strongest vampire in my vampire campaign.
From 0 to hero.
Feels like we shouldn't be allowed to do this.
It's almost
We
like
have the one
it's
advantage,
consequences
being awake at
breaking the-
daytime.
Oh, that whole process is probably horrifying, right? Like Zelda's stabbing this
Oh yeah, this
vampire who's
this
like,
is not nice.
Yeah.
when everything is done and the sparks fade as the storm shroud expires, and like a bunch of like, it's the same thing of like, this shouldn't be physically possible, as you see like a bunch of like batteries in her cloak start like spark, and it's like, there's no way a bunch of like AA batteries should be powering this, right? But don't worry about it. Zelda says, it sounds like, as terrible a person as you might have been, you were going through a lot. I don't exactly feel good about this one.
Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. Is the mirror there? Is it there?
Yeah, I'm gonna check for the mirror. I also want write a little something, but don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that right now.
Yeah, Xena, you rummage through. I mean, I'm guessing you don't want to touch this for long, so you just do the quickest rummage possible. You like pat your hand around it, find the mirror, and pull it out immediately.
Yeah.
Looks exactly the same, only this time the rose on the back is like a cyany blue.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna hang on to this one, which may put a target on my back, but may also be helpful, considering I have the memories of who took the last one. So yes, I'll just kind of slip it into one of my bell sleeves, and it magically just stays there because fable shit.
Yep.
Of course.
Poor ash pile.
Poor.
So many hopes and dreams dashed.
Yeah.
An entire supervillain plot just to get jumped by some fairies.
Yep.
Who just had a right telling off from their mum.
Like, it's not even the cool fairies. Like, it's not even they don't even turn into goldfish and have stars on their wands. Like, that's cool fairies. This is just bullshit.
Part of Zelda knows that she should not do this. She's probably smart enough that she can mask her handwriting easily enough, so it doesn't really matter that much. But still, it's probably a bad idea. But she'll look around, and if she can't find any kind of paper, she'll pull out like a scrunkly looking notebook, rip a page, and write an extreme, like she like tries to like write something, scribbles out, crunches up the paper, until eventually she just kind of stops with a simple "I'm sorry," because she still needs to let Lito know that we have done the job. But going to talk to Lito is a terrible idea. So in Zelda's mind, this works. Of course, Pan's little fairies would just apologize, and it's not that I actually feel bad. Totally. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yeah. Okay. You scribble a note that says "I'm sorry," and leave it on the desk. And you can leave this room now if you like.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Never want to come back here again.
Look at Xena with a 1,000-yard stare and be like, I think that went well.
Yep. Let's get back to the rainbow car.
Leave from here. Look at the ash pile behind us. Close the door. Look down at the ash pile, like on the floor there. So much death has just occurred in this warehouse.
Yeah.
Because we've essentially killed like 8 people in one go.
Now
When you put
that's
it like
efficiency.
Yeah.
Do you want to try one more backwards glance before you leave?
Yeah, I'd love to try
to
one more
confirm
backwards.
what you think. I think you figured it out, but if you want to confirm what you think.
Yeah, just to be sure. Backwards glance. What would this be? It's everything that's in this room or warehouse, I guess. So prop and scene, yeah.
Now lower difficulties at 8 because it adds one automatically.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
did you?
Okay.
Hang on, weren't you gonna do a bunk for it as well?
Damn it! It's too late now.
You jump. No, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would love to.
You can redo it when you bunk.
Yeah, I'd love to like kind of as I walk out and I'm talking to Xena, like this was a horrifying and enlightening experience. I'm kind of like walking backwards the entire time. I almost tripped down the stairs because I'm doing this backwards before I eventually attempt. That would lower the difficulty by 1.
Make it
right?
difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
And then don't forget you can add your nightmare die on.
Yeah. Doing that. Nightmare die here.
Because you've got no nightmare. Enjoy it.
I have no nightmare. I should enjoy it. Okay, so difficulty 6 with the nightmare or without?
Without the nightmare.
Okay. So now it goes up to 7 again. Perfection. Well.
The world does not want you to know what happened here.
It's cool. It's all right.
How did you get 55626?
It's all right. I'll accept. And I think it narratively checks out since I broke my pocket watch in the process. So
it's too much trauma from killing a vampire.
Yeah.
Can't focus on looking back at the past because you have to relive that event again. You, I assume, leave the warehouse.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
Awesome. You get back in your car. Where to?
Back to the Balefire. Yeah.
Yep.
The freehold.
Awesome. You arrive there. The door doesn't immediately open.
Of course it doesn't.
It, in fact, won't open until you present it the mirror. That's proof that you've come back with one.
Did you do your homework?
Did you complete the task I assigned you?
I look at Xena since I'm clearly not allowed to touch the mirrors anymore.
Yeah, I'll brandish it at the door and be like, "There, you see, we did it. We were remarkably efficient."
Remarkably efficient. You re-enter the freehold. No more gust of wind like pushing you away. Xena, this is the first time you've really interacted with the mirror and held it. It's nice. It's well designed. It feels right in the hand. You focus on it for a little bit, and you suddenly see a bit of glamour explode out of it and inactivate. As you kind of move around with the mirror, looking through it, you can kind of do what Zelda did. You can see the location of the other mirrors through here. 2 of them are now coming in the direction of where you were earlier this morning, both shining away. One is coming from somewhere far on the other side of London, past the river, down to South London. And 2 of them are coming from the door to the dreaming here in the freehold. Now remember,
Maybe
the last time you had a mirror, you put it next to the balefire, and you were able to light the balefire. The only good thing is that you gave Leto one that had been expended. Maybe this will have the same effect.
Has Zelda explained to me the dominate effect that the mirrors have?
I did explain to you specifically because I was like, I don't want to tell our boss this. You need to know how this works.
Cool.
Zelda does not remember this anymore, but you have been explained it.
Yeah, I will re-explain it back. I assure you that you told me that these mirrors can dominate people, like a vampire can. So that's helpful in case we need it in the quest for more mirrors. We've got the two that Leto have roughly where we were. We've got one in sort of other side of London, South London, and then we've got two in the Dreaming. So that is, yeah, that's all of them. Do you think that we should keep whatever glamour is in this mirror to use it out and about, or should we channel it into the Balefire to kind of keep home base powered up?
I will say it's not an either-or decision. The mirror will still be functional. It will still do mirror things. It's more like a battery that just recharges over time. Quite like a lot of chimerical things. Like when they expend a glamour charge, they'll just slowly regain it back.
Nice.
And going into the Dreaming would probably like almost insta-charge it.
Perfect. Okay. All right.
See.
Then Zelda will say, considering that we've clearly got mirrors in the Dreaming that we probably should deal with sooner rather than later, I think it's okay to charge the fire now with this one.
Great.
Once we have multiple mirrors, then it won't be as much of a decision to make, since I'd prefer we have a mirror battle.
Yeah, I think if we've got 3 mirrors versus 2, then that's mathematically preferable. I don't know much about maths. I'm a philosophy student, but that seems like good maths to me.
All right. We should decide. I guess we can decide later, but for now, which one's our next target? I do not think our odds are particularly great against a bunch of vampires that are hunting us right now. We got extremely lucky with this one.
Yep. And yeah, we should give them A, time to cool off, B, time to figure out that we potentially solved a problem for them. Because they clearly did not want that very powerful vampire to be around.
I somehow suspect it won't make too much of a difference. But, having them less angry at us when they try to murder us could help.
Yeah. A very small, fragile bargaining chip.
So for now, our next goals are the ones in the Dreaming. We have to get those so we can even the playing field. Then, maybe, just maybe, we have a shot of actually taking out the rest.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I imagine that if a vampire tried to go into the Dreaming, it would, I don't know, dissolve them or something. I might.
So half the discussion of the final part of Vampire, the bit that got corrupted, was can vampires enter the Dreaming, and if so, how do we do it? Fun fact: first edition Vampire Malkavians were Fey vampires whose special ability was to jump into the Dreaming and use it as a fast travel network.
That's so cool.
but in order to use it, they had to solve a riddle from changelings to get through, which I find really hilarious. Because if they kept that for modern vampires, like telling Leto you need to solve a riddle before you can go somewhere. Just like I see 4 changelings giving me a riddle. How do you solve the riddle? I killed the changelings. There's no riddle to solve. Okay, so you hold this mirror out to charge the Balefire. A few things happen. So first of all, the Balefire is now rating 3. This is now a normal level Balefire. More functions come online. Frobisher gets a bunch of robot penguin friends who are now manning the workshop. The workshop can now work on things while you're not around. Zelda does not have to be here to actively do it. So if you've got any long-term engineering toys you'd like, Robusher, which I'm going to call them, can work on them while you're away.
Nice.
As you activate the 3rd level Balefire, you notice what looked like a brick wall along one of the back near the dreaming door has disappeared and revealed a whole new neighborhood of houses and places to go. As it is now expecting more changelings to be around. Your wonderful television screen kicks back online with our favorite handler / mummy / babysitter / whatever prefix we're going to use today. Sort of sees you holding the mirror. I know I'm only looking at it through a screen, but that looks really beautiful.
I'm glad we could not disappoint in at least this small aspect.
No, it was a setback, but you've proven yourselves. Hold on to that one. We're going to need it later.
Yep.
Xena is keeping her hands on this one because I cannot be trusted with them, apparently.
I think we have worked that one out. By the way, are you still suffering from memory fog?
Yeah. I've pulled together some of the pieces at this point, but I do not remember anything about the first mirror personally.
Okay, it's just because I don't like vampires fucking around with my... And you almost hear her say the word friends. Stop.
Associates.
Frobisher, just knock them in front of the screen for me. You see 2 little mechanical claws come out of the brickwork. And she asks you to hold on to both of them, Zelda.
Zelda probably doesn't even hear her because she's too busy trying to examine the claws, which inadvertently means holding on to them.
Okay, I need to make a roll for her. You are a fae. I'm not. Hope you are, because if you're not, we have problems. This is Hedge didn't think he'd be rolling, so he didn't actually get his dice tray ready. To be honest, I just expected this week to go into chaos. So she gets 4 dice for Faye. 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets 5. 4, 5 I only need a success. Anything more than this is overkill. Okay. I just need to read the rules.
Concerning.
As with the previous crown trips, realm turn is the target. Successes dictate the amount of time the subject experiences. Okay. You touch these claws. You recognize the glamour, the art, the second it's cast. She is casting time dilation. The ability to rewind or forward the clock on an item or person.
Oh!
She rolled 5 successes. That allows her to push Zelda forward or backwards a century. How old is Zelda again?
How old is Zelda? I think she's like late 20s, early 30s, maybe somewhere there. I know it's written down somewhere.
Thankfully, it says up to. So the good news is I don't have to push you a whole. So there will be no teenage Zelda.
That'd be so funny.
She very specifically splices time to like intersect at the perfect moment, like the mere second that Leto cast memory wipe, allowing you to remember everything that Leto had wiped. Because I know that deep down that will annoy Blue, and I am all for it.
We've got some powerful friends.
Look, Gwendolyn is very powerful. She's a very powerful chronomancer. I hope that has helped recover you.
Zelda is stunned for a bit as she's like reprocessing that conversation with now the context that she was missing, and bursts out laughing. She's just, you're not sure if she's excited or angry. It's a bit difficult to tell until eventually she cools down. Oh, Leto, you bitch. Amazing. I cannot wait to meet you again.
Well, I'm glad you're excited. Because that may turn up sooner than you think.
Oh, I'm very excited. This is going to be great. I've never had an adventure where I didn't have any of my memories going through it. And she's so smart, but evil. I have to find a way to countermeasure without actually having a conversation with her. Or if I do have a conversation, I still have backwards glance. No, I need heavy firepower. I can see what she's doing. She's not as strong as she thinks she is. No, she knows that. She just needs other people to think that. And she just kind of rambles and kind of paces and will keep going on unless she is actively stopped by someone.
While this is going on, Xena's going to look to the screen and say, I'm sorry, I think in the rush to get started on this whole mirror quest, I think I missed your name, ma'am.
You didn't miss it. It was a deliberate admission.
Oh, okay.
I tend to use fake names anyway most of the time, so even if I had told you a name, it likely would have been fake until I could trust you.
Right. Is there a name of unspecified veracity that you'd like me to use for you? Or
no, you can have my real name. Not my true name, but you can have my real name. Okay. I am Lady Gwendolyn.
Okay.
Member of the Council of the High Lord Chancellor. Ruler of the Kingdom of Roses. It is my job to help safeguard the kingdom.
That sounds like a very important and responsible job, and I am happy that you have even a small amount of time to deal with few little baby Fae, because I can imagine that is frustrating.
It is a little, but we do what we must. I miss home. I miss Arcadia.
You can remember it.
Bits. Tiny bits. It comes and goes. Like brief memories, brief sensations. All of them good. Not like this hellscape.
Yeah. It's seems to be getting worse as well.
Which is why the mirrors are important. If they can truly open the doors and show us the way, we could all return home and leave this banal piece of nightmare shit behind.
That does sound pretty neat.
And hey, if it kills all vampires on Earth, well, that's also a good win.
I mean, fair. I was going to say that I might miss some of the humans, but
you can come back if the door stays permanently open.
That's true. Maybe bring one or two for special VIP passes.
So my question is, where now?
I think our plan is the dreaming, because there's two there that the vampires will not be able to access, and that would give us an advantage in
that would give you 3.
Yeah.
I'm not a rocket scientist or any like person of high intelligence, but if you went and got those 2, that's leaving 1 out here. And if the vampires can locate them just like you can locate them, then they could get the 1 here, and then that would leave you 3 for 3.
I see. So it might make sense in that case to go for the one that the vampires don't currently have. That we believe is in South London.
I mean, I'm not here to dictate what you I'm not going to dictate orders. You've proven yourself by acquiring 2 mirrors. Okay, admittedly you lost one, but
no, I'm very happy to take sage advice from a more experienced changeling, to be honest.
Let me dwell on it. It's turning night, so you should probably get some rest.
Yep.
I will contact you in the morning, and we'll come up with a plan.
Sounds good. And I imagine that Zelda's still just kind of pacing and talking to herself.
Yeah.
Fine. Good night, then.
Good
And you
night.
see the screen turn off. And she leaves you all behind for the night.
Zelda stops, seeing the light from the screen turn off. I was like, oh, I forgot to tell her thank you. Ah, unfortunate.
She probably has magic CCTV on us at all times. She'll hear it at some point.
You just see Frobisher just like try and give a thumbs up with a fin.
Cool. Good to know. Yep. She was saying that we should probably have some rest and come up with a plan in the morning, and that while getting the mirrors in the dreaming would be a good idea, we might have to get the one that Leto doesn't have first, because Leto will be able to search out that one while we're in the dreaming, and that would make us equal power mirrors.
I see the logic in that. Because
But
as far as
yeah.
we can tell, they wouldn't be able to get into the dreaming. Or if they can, then we have much worse problems.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna confirm plans in the morning. And yeah, so no hard and fast decisions right now, but just something to sleep on.
Zelda, for a moment, like shifts uncomfortably from foot to foot, like he's trying to figure out how to say something and does not know how. Before eventually she says, "Thank you for not getting, at least outwardly, mad at me for losing the mirror. Now that I have my memories back, I can see several missteps I made in that entire exchange. And you would have had every right to never speak to me again and go off on your own. And yet you still helped me, even while I was confused and blaming you."
That's okay. I've not really encountered vampires that close before, so I was pretty new to it all as well, and yeah, it could easily have been me in that situation. So I can definitely see it from your perspective.
It's a good thing I'm so brilliant that it will never happen again.
Yep. Make a mistake once, you never make it again. All right, I'm
Well,
gonna go to my conversation pit for the night.
you do that. I am going to eventually sleep. And she says this, and she's looking in the direction of the workshop. Not her room, just the workshop.
Yep.
Okay. So Xena goes to sleep. Ashkara goes to sleep too. Zelda goes to the workshop. Is there anything specific you want to try and work on while you're here?
You know, that's a great question. Some traps would be good.
Okay.
I feel like we're gonna need traps.
You spend a few hours coming up with a few ideas for traps, and then give them to the Frobisher bots, who start looking at trying to make them.
Nice.
So that will be a task for them to do while you're away.
Perfect.
And then you eventually, at some point, go back to sleep.
Eventually.
The morning rolls around. Frobisher does his normal wake-up routine of playing the gong until you get up, and if not, they will enter your home and start gonging in front of you, and if you don't do it then, they'll get on top of you and start doing it until you eventually wake up. It's been about an hour since you woke up, and Gwendolyn has not contacted you at all.
Frobisher, any word from Mama?
I'm trying to call. No one's answering.
No. I'm trying not to think the worst, that the council has been hit, but probably just busy. Probably just a different crisis.
It's about another half hour of panicking before Frobisher just starts it's weird. They open their beak and out of their, remember this is a, I say real life penguin. It's a imitation of a real life penguin. They open their mouth and a strip of paper comes out with words on it, like one of those old telegram readers.
Amazing.
And it just starts coming out of his mouth, just getting longer and longer and longer. And it stops. It's just sort of hanging there.
I'll go and pick it up. I'm first expecting there to be penguin saliva on it, but then
No,
remembering that it's a
it's
robot.
completely dry. In slightly elvish, curvish font, it simply reads, "Had to go underground. We'll talk soon. Good luck. -G."
Cool. Guess it's up to us. I
So we're
still
on our
think,
own for a little bit.
yeah. But I think the implication was that sticking to the London mirrors for now is probably a good idea. But it is ultimately up to us.
It is where you feel safe. You'll see, like, Frobisher, like, pipe up.
Huh. I kind of look at Frobisher, pat him on the head, and be like, "You just keep things running here, and we'll do our job and make sure that we deal with this mirror crisis, and heck, even power up the flame a little bit."
Well, if you got the dreaming mirrors, I suppose that would give enough glamour to power the Balefire back to full capacity.
You just have to survive in the process.
Who is that?
It's a small matter.
In some respects, the dreaming may be more dangerous than the outside world.
So I've heard. Oh, it's difficult to believe that with what we've seen so far.
But it would be more of an adventure.
It would. Imagine the materials I could work with. I mean, chimerical objects are always finicky and strange and rely on things like your cognition of them. I vastly prefer working with banal items myself. But sometimes that lightning gun won't build itself out of nothing.
I leave the choice entirely up to you. You can try and hunt down this other mirror. You know where it is, you just got to go there and see what's around it. I mean,
As much fun.
what are the statistical chances that another vampire has gotten the third mirror?
Like, I look at Frobisher like, you jinxed it. You jinxed it. I bet you jinxed it right now.
I'm just saying, if there are 6 mirrors, the fact that 2 of them were held by vampires, kind of a statistical anomaly.
Well, we'll try and find the last one here first before that last vampire gets it. And
Okay.
Yeah. And
can we check the mirror?
yeah, check the current position of the
It
other
hasn't
mirror.
moved.
Okay.
It is still somewhere in South London.
Cool.
That's a good sign.
Right. Want to take the car, take the tube?
We can take the car. I feel like if anything goes wrong, we need to run away very quickly, and waiting on the train is not it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. You make your way out and make the drive all the way out across London. Driving in London is not fast, especially when you don't know where you're going. You just have a direction. So you're there holding it, saying like go south, but looking at like the Google Maps, like, okay, can we actually go south this way? It's a lot more difficult than just getting around. So it takes you a good couple of hours to like work out exactly where this mirror is. It takes you to a disused manor house in South London. There's technically a for sale sign here. Someone is technically trying to sell this place. But the overgrown grass, the bolted shut iron gates kind of suggest that no one's viewed this in a very long time. It's like one of those manor houses that has like the wall, the gated wall, and the house itself is actually receded back a little bit with a driveway going up to the front door. You are more than welcome to give me checks, difficulty 6, to look, investigate, perceive, smell, touch, whatever combination you would like to gain information from.
Cool.
Yes, I'd love to do.
I know you like to look before enter.
investigation.
Yep, sounds investigation.
Yeah.
Investigation on my side too. Hey, same hat.
3 and 3.
Woohoo.
I think. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how you feel. I'm going to tell you what you see, and then you can tell me how you feel. The windows are blacked out.
Nice strong start.
Some of them very heavily so. Some of them only with fabric. It doesn't take a genius to work out the front door is trapped. Whoever installed the trap left some of the trigger wire hanging on the other side of the door, so you can actually see the copper wire coming out ever so slightly. Anyone barging in wouldn't see it, but for those who are trained and those who are actually taking the time to look can notice it. Moving around the back, there is a window that is broken. The whole pane's come out. And it hasn't had any fabric put over it. Could be a possible entry point. The place does look well and truly abandoned.
All right. If anyone lives here, it's a vampire. Blacked out windows, trapped front door. Don't like that.
And there's no mirrors this time.
There's no mirrors this time. Much wow.
It's almost like the solution wasn't given to you this time.
I'm looking at the broken window. This seems like an easy entry point. We've already perceived, so I can't perceive again and be like, is there a trap there? I don't think. But I do look at Xena and be like, well, we have one way to get in.
Cool. Quick banality check.
It's a bit difficult with this manor house. There is banality here. I mean, the very fact that it's a manor house gone into disrepair is banal in and of itself. It would be very difficult for you from the outside to tell if there was high banality without going in.
Mm-hmm.
The previous places you felt vampiric banality are places that they frequently haunted. There's been a high concentration of vampires. Unless they're really close to you now, you might not be able to tell. Look, this mirror could just be on a floor in an abandoned manor house.
Seems unlikely, but
I'm just saying it could.
Yeah. All right. I think we probably need to go inside to gather more intel.
I approach the broken window, take my coat off to kind of put it on like the window itself so I don't cut myself climbing in. Um, and it's very funny, Xena, because you see, like, I take off the whole coat for the first time, and you see I've got like 16 different belts and pouches on wrapped on my arms and legs and around my torso, just kind of everywhere. Um, just with all this random junk on them.
Yeah. You successfully enter this manor house. The floor is full of dust. Clearly the elements have got to this room. Like there's a bit of rain damage when rains come through. The furniture is all over the place, most of it broken. And this looks like it used to be a kind of reception room once upon a time, before it was left abandoned. There's like two doors, one leading out to the right and one leading directly ahead.
Two doors, place looks abandoned. You said there's like a former reception desk?
Yeah, like it's like what they'd call like a reception room, like a drawing room, a kind of like a place where you put people to entertain them, like a sofa, some coffee tables. It's one of those. Basically, you know if you're posh if you say you have a spare room, you call it your reception room. That's how you know you have too much money.
Yeah, you have to come up with outlandish names for extra rooms.
Yeah, and the reception room is one of them.
Yeah.
Very well can't call it my second living room, can I?
I feel like it would be extremely... Oh, sorry. I feel like it would be extremely lucky for the mirror to just be in here and then we could leave.
It's not in this room.
So,
no.
Yeah.
To answer your banality question that I'm sure you're also about to ask as well now that you're inside, you can feel a sense of banality coming from somewhere from in this building.
Cool.
All right. Probably got vampires. At the very least, they hang out here enough.
Is there any way to pinpoint the mirror now that we're
you notice now that it's very similar to how the mirror reacted when Zelda held it last time, finding Leto's mirror. Now that you're so close, it's impossible to pinpoint it exactly.
Cool. Okay. That makes sense. Shall we just kind of get a floor plan in our heads and do a quick sort of look of the rooms that we've got available before we sort of do a more extensive search?
Yeah, just to kind of see the general layout. Stick together the whole time, of course.
Yep. No splitting up. Horror movies never go well when they split up.
As you shuffle around, I need you both to give me dexterity and stealth at difficulty 8.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, I'm so bad at this. This is gonna be great. Amazing!
I botched it.
Xena botches. I think. Yeah, you kick something, Xena. You kick something and make a noise.
Yep.
And at that point, when you kick it, you kick over a bookshelf and you just hear the sound of books just falling off it. From behind both of you, you just hear the click of a safety on a gun going off.
Fuck!
Oh, hey there. Sorry.
I was
May I-
wondering who little shits were that decided to trigger the proximity alarm.
We're on a
Yeah,
very important and special quest.
And what kind of important and special quest would that be?
Well, I don't know if I should tell you because I don't know who you are.
And you do also have a
Oh,
gun
you
down
can
there.
slowly turn around.
That sounds like a
I'll-
good plan.
Yep, I will do.
You see this woman who is extremely fatigued. Her hair is like, well, it looks like it was once upon a time really, really nice and regal, like brunettish kind of hair moss. It's all scraggled out. It's like Leto, but worse. This person looks like they haven't washed in a very long time. You see her grin, smirk, bare her teeth. There's a problem. When she bares her teeth, where the two fangs should be for a vampire are both missing.
Oh.
Interesting.
So I ask again, before I have to sleep, what is it that you want? What is this special quest that you must complete?
Looking, Xena, last time I spoke, I fucked up. This is your turn.
Fair. Well, we have been tasked with collecting some artifacts that are important to our people.
Well, that isn't at all extremely fucking vague.
Well, then, why don't you tell us what you're doing out here? Unless you're
This is
extremely
where
down
I'm
your luck.
taking refuge. I have
Hiding
been
from someone?
asleep for a fucking while in the bottom of the fucking Thames.
Ooh. Is that am I getting my vampire terminology right? Torpor?
Okay, so you know a little bit more than the average person. Obviously, she sniffs the air. Because you're not humans. Oh, okay. This makes more sense.
Seems we're all on the same page now.
So what is the artifact?
A particularly powerful one? I'm going to assume if you're out here, you don't have many vampiric friends, do you?
Does it matter if I have friends?
A little bit. It seems we might be on the same same page is probably not the right term.
You see
But
that
we don't
she's-
have to be enemies.
She's getting increasingly agitated at how you're dodging the question of what it is you're actually looking for. Final chance. Bear in mind, I do have a gun.
She does have a gun. Damn it all. Don't have
Alright.
it. Stop that. Okay. All right.
Cards on the table. We're looking for a mirror that outwardly displays vampiric qualities, but is in fact an artifact associated with the dreaming.
You see her go behind her back and pull out the mirror. You mean this one?
Mhm.
I'd heard rumors that some mirrors were floating around that were extremely powerful, that could tell you bits of information. But so far, this has been fucking useless. I've been asking it questions, it's not told me anything of useful.
I imagine it's very difficult for vampires to use, though I have seen exceptions.
Oh,
Hanging
okay,
on
well
to
that's
it.
brilliant. You sort of see that she kind of like holds the mirror out to you. Like, one hand holds the mirror, other hand holds the gun. Like, good. So you can activate it and tell me exactly what I want to know.
Interesting. What are you trying to find out with this?
I need to know where someone is.
Yeah, now it's your turn to be vague, I see. If we know who they are, we might be able to point you in their direction ourselves.
I am looking for a vampire called Dominic Lasker.
Never heard the name. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic.
I am keeping myself innocent of the other campaign so that I don't accidentally metagame. So I do not know who that is.
I'm sweating bullets here, but Zelda would not know or recognize that name in the slightest.
Gotta love metagaming.
Okay, so that's someone I'm not familiar with. I tell you what. You're clearly not friends with the vampires here, which is great. I don't think they're friends with us either. I don't think the mirror works the way you think it does, but I can always try and see if it knows where this person is. In exchange, you don't harm us and you don't give it to them. We need to work together and keep this away from them, or else it's going to cause problems for all of us. Does that sound fair?
Give it to who? Who else is collecting these mirrors?
Oh, you've been asleep for a long time.
About 5 years.
Whew. We're the worst people to ask this, because, we're not vampires ourselves. I don't really know the order of things. But...
Then just say what you know and I won't put a bullet between your eyes.
God damn it. I look at Xena as I'm about to say the name of who was trying to of my good rival. Like, is this okay? Is the situation fine?
I think Xena tries to kind of indicate not yet,
Okay.
non-verbally, and kind of reaches into their bell sleeve to touch the armor, and is considering using the dominate effect on this vampire.
Nice.
So could you please let me know what I'm aware of how the dominate effect works?
If what Zelda said is true from their research, you just literally pointed at someone, have them look into it, and say the command you want them to do. There is no roll, there is no contest, it just works.
Amazing.
The issue that you've got is that who's going to move quicker? Are you going to pull your mirror out and show it to her quicker than she's going to move her arm across and shoot you.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
interesting.
If you
She
think
doesn't
you
know how
can,
the mirror works, though. I think
no,
it'd be
she
easy
doesn't.
enough to be like, "Hey, yeah, sure, I'll try and activate this thing. Let me just bam dominate."
Well, if you give me a manipulation plus performance at DC 8 to try and trick her,
Ooh, ooh.
Yes, I can do that. DC 8, you said.
yes.
Oh my god!
No!
Zena, please!
This is what I'm good at. I have so many dice.
What happened? There's 2 1s.
Yeah, there's 2
Jeez.
1s.
2.
Yeah.
2 1s and 2 7s.
I'm not that much of an idiot. How about, as I'm the one with a gun and you're not, you give me your mirror?
Well, we've just gone through a lot to get this one, and
I'm
that
going to
would
repeat my previous question to your colleague. Who else is collecting mirrors?
Damn it.
Yeah, I
I
think I
think
feel like
you're
we're
running out of track here.
Yep. There's a vampire that we encountered
Hmm?
called Leto.
The moment you say that name, you see the grip on her pistol get really stiff. Like, vampires can't go white in the skin, but if they could, she definitely would be right now.
Mhm.
Okay, you found a vampire called Leto.
Yep. And she also appears to be interested in collecting mirrors.
You see this vampire twist the handle of her mirror. She puts the gun down, she lowers it, she takes her mirror, she walks over to you, Xena, and she pushes it directly into your hand.
Oh my
Trick it.
god!
Really?
Oh.
You
If
sure?
Leto was looking for these, then carrying these is a death sentence.
Cool. Okay. I
And
mean,
I'd rather not. I mean, I would rather be the one doing the hunting than being the hunted.
yeah.
And if holding this mirror makes me a target, then I'd rather she go for somebody else, a little bit more malleable.
Yeah, we're already in Leto's gun sight, so don't worry about that. We're definitely unless
Good.
we level up our skills super fast, we're probably not long for this world. So you can probably come and collect these mirrors off our corpses imminently.
Oh, no,
But-
no. I do not want you or the mirrors, but you are going to do me the biggest of favors in return for that mirror.
Okay. I'm listening.
I'm just going to follow you in the background.
Why?
Because if you find Leto, you'll find Dominic. And while
Ooh.
they're all focused on you, I will get my revenge for having my fangs pulled out.
Ooh, that sounds rough. That sounds real rough. Okay. I mean, net less vampires, good for us. I don't have a problem with it. How about you, Zelda?
Zelda was listening to this entire arrangement, which is extremely bad, by the way, nods her head and says, "I see no issue with this. We're all against the same target. Oh, I suppose not. I don't know who this Dominic person is, but
A
they
bastard
sound
is
dangerous.
the correct word.
Huh? Excellent.
You threaten to
Then
kill
you-
their mother, and then they take your fangs out, throw you in torpor, and toss you into the Thames.
There's so much I want to comment on about that, but you can deal with them, and we'll deal with Leto. That seems like a fair arrangement. So you can follow however you wish, I suppose. I feel like it would be very difficult for us to lose you, even if we disagreed at these terms.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we have a very noticeable car. So yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we should have taken the subway.
Mhm. Well, that's another learning point that we can add to the list. See how we go.
It's fine. I am sure you'll live past all of this. It's not
There
like
is no
Nico
evidence
just
that I can
casually
die.
murders everyone.
You hear so much. What's your name? I feel like we should at least know that.
Marissa.
Nice to meet you. I'm Xena.
Zelda.
Well then. Isn't this a lovely little coterie we've made?
I hate it so much.
Friends.
Hey. I'll protect you. Probably. Now, if you don't mind, I need to go back to sleep. Fighting this is extremely difficult.
Yep.
Noted. We should leave
Yep.
very quickly.
Yep.
And you sort of see, don't worry. I'll find you when I'm ready to take my due.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh,
Um,
nod my head. Make my way to the
and-
exit. Very
Yep.
casually.
Yeah.
Yep.
just that fast walking away, and then once you get outside, it's into break into a full sprint.
Yeah.
Across the lawn.
I think in Xena's head is just like, do we wait until she's asleep and use the patented dreamy, sleepy, torpor, dust technique, or do we let this ride?
I mean, that is
I
up to
think-
you. That is entirely up to you.
Zelda considers it seriously for a moment and then shakes her head and says, we couldn't detect where all of the contact alarms were. So there's a good chance if we try to go back in and like dream her or something, we'll wake her up. And even though she's a considerably more ordinary vampire, she wasn't even the slightest bit scared of us at all, despite knowing exactly what we can do, and I don't like that. Besides, I think she's nice. I think maybe it's just we can have a nice ally here. I think that entire encounter was rather pleasant by vampire standards, at least.
I'd prefer less gun.
Yeah, the gun certainly made that a bit more awkward.
Yep. Because yeah, we can die from that.
It would be inconvenient. I'd rather not go through trying to figure out myself another time. You know, still trying to.
Yep. Okay. Right. Let's well, we've got the two mirrors in one day. That's progress.
2 in 24 hours. As you have these two mirrors, I mean, you've never actually had two mirrors together.
Yeah.
As the two kind of bounce off each other, like they give off glamour that kind of bounces off each other, you can raise both of them and kind of use them as glasses to look around. It works exactly the same. You can see Leto's two mirrors haven't moved. And the two dreaming mirrors are still coming from your freehold. But the advantage of this mirror having two of them at the same time is you sort of scan the horizon and now you can see it above the shard. At the point where the shard touches the sky is a huge crack of glamour. A ginormous cloud rift? Crack? Maybe? Of glamour, only detectable when two of the mirrors meet.
Okay.
Well, that's
Glamour.
ironic because the design of the shard is very uninspired.
It's an elongated pyramid. Hey, you got two mirrors.
Yep.
You go
The target
back
in
to
our backs is even bigger.
Yeah.
You can't even begin to imagine.
I think we go back to freehold at this point.
Yep. Yep.
I guess straight to freehold, quickly grab the mirror, bank it into the balefire.
Yep.
There we go.
The whole process.
We get the Zelda chest opening noise. Dur, 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 dur.
Yep. At level 4, you begin to notice that a kind of like the tower that holds the balefire has now moved further back, as where once the original castle was is a extra workshop, and it is pointing directly at the dreaming door. The dreaming door has now gotten much bigger, and you sort of see that Frobisher kind of like waddles out and is like, "Oh, you've got the dreaming workshop online. That is actually pretty damn cool."
Nice.
Because it can do this. You see, like claps his flippers together, like do a clicking motion. D, I am going to let you describe this because this is your area of expertise. You see in this kind of hangar bay made out of chimera a mech suit.
Let's go!
A full-on multi-person, well, multi-changeling mech suit aimed directly at the dreaming to allow much faster travel in the dreaming than conventional walking along the paths. What does it look like?
All right. So, multi-person mech suit. This is magic. So it's kind of mystical at the same time as also technological, right? It looks a bit like at a glance, it looks like a giant suit of armor. But like the more you look at it, the more you see like there's like weird extra tank treads on its feet. There's like bits of like cables and wires that kind of connect each individual body part. And it is gleaming, and it's got a coat like a cape. But when you look at the cape, it looks like it's made out of like solar panels or some nonsense like that. It looks like equal part magic and equal part like super advanced technology. You wouldn't be able to tell whether this is ancient or super futuristic. It's very strange. And it shines. It's very shiny. It's gotta be shiny. It's gotta have like random glowy bits. You know how it is.
See, if you ever want to reward your players, you give them a toy that they're really passionate about. The irony being at all this was the reason why I was like nudging you to the other mirror is I pre-wrote these rewards for each level, and I was like, if you went and got both the mirrors and then came back, you'd have skipped the reward, and like you toiled through all that shit, but here's a mech suit that probably would have made it a little easier.
Yeah.
I've done that in so many video games, gone into a high level area and then realized there was a tool all along. If I'd have just stuck to the story rather than divulging off on a side path, I could have got and made this shit an awful lot easier. That is where we're going to leave today's episode. And let everyone wrap up. So next episode, we're definitely going to the dreaming. That is it now. No more holding back. We are going to go do the things in the title of the game system. It's only taken 4 episodes, but we will go in there. I also want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for both of you for humoring my insanity again. I am sure I'm going to get many messages from the Vampire crew going, what the fuck have you done? Why did you bring her back? Why have you done this? Why have you done that? And yes, that target on your back is going to get infinitely bigger. But it's fine. It'll make the extra showdown at the end really, really cool. Note to self, I am going to have to get an overlay made for the slight possibility that all of you could exist at the same time.
That's wild.
Did anyone say 8-player game?
I mean, Critical Role already has like 7 players at the moment,
Exactly.
Why not?
We're better than Critical Role because we're gonna have 8 players.
Yep. The more players, the better.
Exactly. So say hello to our 100-player battle royale coming out next week. I can just see VDO just crashing at 100 people. My laptop sets on fire. But no. We will be back next Saturday. I hope everyone has a good time. Rest. Come back in about 40 minutes. Hector will be going off with more. I can't will be coming on with more of his game, the Wander Home system, Songs on the Wind. It was really good last Saturday. It's a system where the GM gives control to the players, and as a control freak, I cannot. That sounds like my version of hell. I like to give you the sandbox, but I still control the sand in the box. The idea of giving you the sand in the box? No. What am I here for? I'm just here to just read out the paper and make sure you don't break everything. But no. I digress. Come and join us. It'll be an awful lot of fun. We'll be back next Saturday. Until then, look out yourselves. Be well. We will update you when the next vampire game is going to be. Because we're still organizing the new schedule. So keep an eye on our socials for that. But until then, bye.
Goodbye.